It's still going. Anyway, how long is? Okay. Sorry, I just saw someone retweet that like, oh, Wings of Fire is out early at Barnes and Noble, the new Wings of Fire book, and I'm like, I'm kind of surprised because I've known that series has existed for a long time. And I mean, in all honesty, I only just started, despite my obsession with dragons, I only started listening to that series, and I say listening because audiobook, literally yesterday. So it was just kind of weird to start listening to the first book yesterday, which I then promptly stopped because I'm just like, ugh. It dragged on a little bit in a weird way. It's fine. I'll probably listen to it more. It's definitely slightly lower than... honestly, I'd say it's good. It's better than some of the other audiobooks I've listened to recently. There's one that I had to stop. I ranted about that on one stream. That was just so horrible that I'm like, how did this get a 4.7 on Audible? How is this? It literally, there was like no character consent. I'm like, oh gosh. So after listening to stuff like that, I'm like, this is good. But I don't think it'll get better. It's got to be to be this popular. That's not true based on what the other book, but I don't know why. I just didn't want to continue. I've been in a lit RPG kick, and so switching to that was kind of like, I want to go back to lit RPG. My brain has been, if you can guess, very much on RPG stuff. And so the idea of a lit RPG has been like fitting my current brain patterns. So that's actually the main reason I stopped listening to it. Because I just wanted to listen to another lit RPG. And I found another good one. Problem was, the reason I went to Wings of Fire is because I tried two. Well, I tried one. I should say this is the second one I've tried that I didn't like, which is the main reason I was thinking of switching to something that wasn't lit RPG. But then I'm like, I'll give another one. And then, yeah, so the lit RPG, alright, this was me. We'll probably get to that later. But I want to finish the Swashbuckler. I'll probably name all these characters later. It's a little phlegmy. Drink some water. Yeah. Where was I? Right. Yeah, so the other one I tried was much better than the other one I didn't like. The one that I just complained about again. But it wasn't quite in the way I wanted. And it was starting off very, very slow. And Wings of Fire starts off slow, but I can tell it's not going to be too bad. I'd be surprised if a Swashbuckler is not trained in at least those three. But yeah, the one I just started is called... I should talk about the books I listen to, because I listen to a lot at work. Recent books... Actually, where's my phone? There it is. Let me tell you the recent books I've been listening to. So probably the one that got me back into listening, or got me into listening into lit RPGs, is The Primal Hunter. Then I deviated from that a little bit to go to Sufficiently Advanced Magic, which is, let's see, what's the series called? Arcane Ascension. Yeah, the first book is called Sufficiently Advanced Magic, which is how a lot of people refer to it for some reason. I finished the main series. There's a lot of offshoot series to that one, but I didn't listen to any of those because I wanted to move on a bit. Oh yeah, then I went to listen to those. Oh yeah, then I went to Path of Ascension, which is the terrible book I mentioned. Don't listen to it. Don't buy it. It's horrible. It's literally the characters are so inconsistent. The plots are all over the place. It's like literally like there's this whole plot that was basically solved by exposition, and it was all like, oh, they just yelled at some people and they let them. They were kidnapped as part of some like plot. I listened to the first one actually. I should say, the first one was subpar. It was like below average, and I'm like, you know what? If it continues like this, I can deal with it. The world building is interesting. The plot itself is poor, and the characterization was very bland. But then, when the second book started to destroy all of the characterization made in the first book, I said, screw it, I cannot handle this. And that's when I'm like, no. So I only listened to like less than an hour of the second book before I'm like, yep, no, this is horrible. Then I listened to... then I actually finished listening to all the Lovecraft stories. I hadn't actually finished those. And then I listened to Chrysalis, that whole series. There's 5 books in the series so far. By the way, Primal Hunter and Chrysalis are still ongoing. Same with Path of Ascension, so I'm obviously going to have to get back to those. But Chrysalis is about a guy reincarnated as an ant in, another lit RPG world. That's by Rhino Z. He's a good author. He also made another book, which I'll get to in a second. Then I listened to, after that, Queen in the Mud, which is also ongoing. There's only 1 book out now. That one's pretty good. I call that one average. Rhino Z, okay, let's go to a 1 to 5 scale, where 3 is average, 5 is really good, 1 is really bad. I'd say the Arcane Ascension series that starts with Sufficiently Advanced Magic, I'd call that a 5. Primal Hunter, 5. Path of Ascension, 1. Chrysalis, you know what? Primal Hunter I should probably call a 4. It's above average, but it's not excellent. Path of Ascension is excellent. I'd call that a 5. Queen in the Mud, I'd call a 3. It's very average. It's good, but it's not, like, crazy. Arcane Ascension is a 1. Shrubly the Monster Adventurer. Only 1 book out. There's gonna be more. I'd call that a 4. Chrysalis, again, 5. And then Book of the Dead, also by Rhino Z. I like that author now. 5. And now I'm listening to... and then... right, okay. And then I tried All the Skills, which I'd call a 2 or 3. Then I tried Mage Academy. I forgot about that one. I only listened to a little bit of that one. 2 or 3. Again, I didn't listen to either of those long enough to really form a solid opinion, but I just could tell it wasn't, like, gonna be amazing. And then now I'm listening to He Who Fights with Monsters. Hard to say. I've only listened to a few hours, but it's got me wrapped, so I'm gonna say it's at least a 4. Could be a 5. So that's my opinion on the books I've read recently, or listened to recently. I basically listen to these books while working, so I go through 6 to 8 hours of content in a day. I pause a lot because if I'm like thinking about something, I need to like focus. So let's go and do the 10 plus con. Actually, I'm curious. Why? Hold on one second. I'm doing that to obscure. Did I not buy Howl of the Wild? I could have sworn I bought it. No, I guess I didn't. Honestly, I've decided I'm going to buy a lot of... What? No, I'm not doing this now. Yeah, sure. I don't know why this required me to have my billing information. There we go. Now, I should be able to refresh this. That doesn't show. That's good. Okay. Swashbuckler back out. Swashbuckler back out. Now I can do this. So what happens if I move Minotaur to here? Okay. Now I can do this here, which is just easier. Honestly, what I really need to do is talk to my tax guy and see if I can figure out how to start putting all this on taxes, because it'd probably save me a lot, because I don't make a lot of money from this. So it'd basically be like, I make a very small amount and I spend a lot, and then I can put it on my taxes. So it's basically a business. I mean, that's how a lot of companies handle it. They just buy companies that lose them money so they can make less money, which is the weirdest thing to me. It's like, just pay people more instead of buying businesses. I guess that also makes you have to pay taxes on the people you're paying, so it's like, I don't know, which is weird. It's like, it's just like, well, if you're gonna throw money away, I mean, I guess the idea is they throw money at something that might eventually make them money. But it's dumb. Just pay people more. And give people job security and not fire them. I guess I need to look at heritages. Oh, and it already... Did I already put the heritage stuff in? Yeah, I did. Acrobat background. Stalker, state balance. I still need to do first level feats. This is... Yeah, feats are easier... Here. I can then grab them from the other place. Ancestry feats. Here we are. Cattle speech. You understand the lowering of cattle and similar animals as its own language. You can ask questions of, receive answers from, and use the diplomacy skill cattle, bison, antelopes, or other grazing mammals that travel in herds. Achievement determines which other animals count for this ability. Interesting. Many inventors, you take pride in creating items made from stone or metal. You can be trained in crafting or another skill of your choice if you're already trained in crafting, and gain the specialty crafting skill feat in your choice of blacksmithing, leatherworking, or stonemasonry. Those aren't horrible, honestly. Is there a bejeweled? Familiar with architecture allows you to easily spot subtle stonework. Plus, unusual stonework. This bonus applies when checks discover mechanical traps made of stone or hidden within stone, as well as secret doors in stone when using athletics to force open a stone door. Or thievery to disable device made primarily of stone. You can, yeah, okay. Friendly nudge. Minotaur adventurers. Minotaurs have a reputation for being fearsome melee combatants. While this can be true, there's no shortage of barbarians or fighters among the Minotaur adventurers. A Minotaur can do very well in many classes. A keen mind and love of puzzles produces many investigator and wizard, while many an investigator and wizard, while Minotaurs with a taste for the unique find themselves walking the path of an inventor or thaumaturge. Ancestry's affinity for earth and stone can also lead them to join the ranks of druids or sorcerer, or the elemental bloodline. Those who wield the divine typically do so by honing inherent powers as sorcerers or oracles, rather than by supplicating to higher entities such as clerics or witches. You don't always have time to wait for your allies to make room, so it's best to politely move them yourself. Attempt an athletics check to shove an ally. You don't need to have a free hand to attempt this check. If your ally is willing, the result is 1 degree of success higher. I'm actually curious about how the shove works. I went through and I bought just every 2e book, even the old ones. Like the adventure. Well, some of them I got from a humble bundle. But then I'm like, I'll just buy the rest. Player core. I always need to pop out the side, even if there's nothing there. Is the way things work with the setup I have. Game. Actions. Basic actions. Specialty basic actions? Oh, it's probably in athletics. Skill actions. It's kind of annoying that actions are in so many different places. I wish there was a spot where they just listed them all, even if all they did was list what... Look, actually, do they have a glossary? Well, anyway, list what page they're on. Grapple, long jump, post, shove. Push a creature away from you. Attempt an athletics check against your target's fortitude DC. Push the target up to 10 feet away from you. You can stride after it, but you must move the same distance in the same direction. You push the target 5 feet. Back 5 feet, you can stride after it, but you must move the same distance and in the same direction. You lose balance, fall, and land prone. Oh, my character doesn't have a ton of strength. Yeah, 0 strength. Good. So that's probably not a good one. Let's go back to Howl the Wild. Accustomed to foul air of underground tunnels, you sense the smell sharpened and noxious scents are less offensive. You gain scent as an imprecise sense with a range of 30 feet. You also gain pulse and circumstance bonus to fortitude saves against olfactory effects that cause a sickened condition. That's not bad. Minotaur lore and weapon familiarity. Battle axe, falchion, glaive, and great axe. Well, I already have martial weapon training. Right? Actually, let me look at the Swashbuckler. What do you get? trained in martial and unarmed. And, oh, only light armor. Let me get back there. Also reminds me I need to do this thing where I do it a few times. Oh, let me continue looking over here, though. Pantheon magic. Divine melding still runs through you. Whether you want it or not, choose one cantrip from the divine spell list. You can cast the cantrip as a divine spell at will. A cantrip is heightened spell rank equal to half your level rounded up. In a weird way, that might be a good thing. That actually might be one of the better ones to do. Most of these don't quite fit what I'm looking for. Friendly Nudge is the best, but I'd have to do some training in athletics, and then Keen Arrow's not bad either. Minotaur lore is pointless for what I'm doing. Oh wait. Trained in Stealth and Society. One of these skills, you become trained in a skill of your choice. You also gain additional lore, general feat from Minotaur lore. I should look at the lore. I didn't realize they gave you other things. But I like Pantheon magic. Let's get a 5th level one now. Your ability to move unseen is startling for one of your size, causing panic among your enemies when you successfully hide when previously observed. Creatures you are hidden from become frightened one, and they are temporarily immune to alarming disappearance for 1 hour. It's not bad, honestly. Beast of Burden. Prod frame. Increase your maximum encumbrance bulk limits by 4. You can rest normally while wearing medium armor. You can make your voice reverberate off any surface. Once per day, you can cast Ventriloquism as an occult innate spell. 7th level, these spell slots heightened to 2nd. Natural Orienteering. When you roll a success on a survival check to sense direction or track, you get a critical success instead. There's natural affinity for problem solving and the unknown. Whenever you attempt to recall knowledge about a subject or creature, you gain +1 circumstance bonus to your next skill check regarding the creature or subject, even if you don't succeed at the check. What's you're supposed to do if you're a master? You can leverage your size and muscles to extend your reach and attack more distant foes. When you wield a melee weapon that requires 2 hands, it doesn't have a reach. You can change between a typical 2-handed grip and extended 2-handed stretch using an interact action. Yeah, the thing about reach is you can't attack things 5 foot closer, so you would have to... That's interesting. Okay. I don't think Swashbuckler gets... a reactive strike. No. I think champion and... I know barbarians can get it. I don't think champions do. Monks do, I think. But it requires 2 hands. I don't think there's finesse weapons that use 2 hands. Let me look. Because I want to, or not, like, yeah, finesse allows you to, who am I? I'm Mr. Rumbly Car. Your car's so loud it makes the whole apartment complex shake. It's obnoxious. traits. Which one? I think it's finesse. Yeah, dexterity instead of strength. Is there a two-handed finesse weapon? Kind of doubt it. Is there a martial? Yeah, I want a martial one. Agile. Agile means you can attack more often without as much. Okay, agile, disarm, parry. Versatile. That's a pretty good one. A rapier, yeah, that makes sense. The main, gosh, gouch, I don't know, yeah, gouch, something like that. Short sword. Yeah, uncommon you can't get without having a specialty. Okay. There is a two-handed spike chain. Just finesse. But not reach. That's good. Spike chain was not on weapon familiarity. Hello, Blaze. No. You get training in uncommon weapons. Okay. Thank you. I was actually getting a little thirsty and didn't notice. That's why those exist. Hold multiple attack penalties, improvised weapons. Ammunition. Did you say anything about uncommon weapons? Price, maybe up here. Wielding items. Some abilities require to wield an item. You're not just carrying it around, you're ready to use it. Other items require you to be wearing the item, to be holding it, or simply to have it. Drawing and snowing. Interact and release. Bulk values. Object immunities. Shoddy items and sizes. Grr. I would like to know... Damn it, it's not gonna be in damage. It's not gonna be in range. Be in reload. Hands. Rates. Ugh. Because there's also advanced weapons, which are always uncommon. Let me look at like a class like fighter. No. Might actually be in like the introduction. Allies. Class details. Buying equipment. Characters class list, weapons and armor, so they're trained, weapons determine how much damage it deals. You also want equipment like rope torches, Super 6. Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Like, I know uncommon stuff is just supposed to be... Like, I know for spells, you don't start knowing how to do spells, but these are still martial weapons. Most of the things are for advanced weapons. Most of the exceptions I've seen are for advanced weapons. It's also the whole bulk thing, which I need to keep in mind. Because if you're large, you have double the bulk limit. One bulk is now light and negligible. Yeah, light stuff now becomes negligible. Or sorry, light stuff, or negligible becomes light. And now light is negligible. One bulk is light. And your bulk limit is 2 times. Damage. Represents. Well, character can use items of any level. Dream should keep in mind that allowing character to use items far above the current level may have negative impacts on the game. Like, I know some things that are uncommon, and this is what annoys me. Some things that are uncommon are just, you need GM permission. Other things, like races, other things that are uncommon are, like, you need special things. Like, spells, for example. I mean, uncommon weapons do tend to be like uncommon things do tend to be a little bit more powerful. But not a ton. Not like ridiculously so. If it has a class, I know you sometimes need to have the class. Let me look up. Let me do this. Random designation. My first game, I like the rolls. Cool. Entirely on power, budget, the weapon in game. Something to do with how it performs in the real world. One thing, there's sources that say that peasants in eastern parts of Europe use these things as weapons as protection versus horse traveling. Have a name, but essentially a ball and chain or rope. I think I've seen that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So rarity, it seems, is more of a permission tool. Got it. Well, I like the idea of a minotaur dancing with a giant chain, so I'm gonna do it. They do tend to be a little bit more powerful. That I did figure out. I mean, the fact that you have a two-handed 1d8 finesse weapon with disarm and trip, that's a lot. Let's do it, though. There we go. What was the feat? Stretching reach. Is there a hotkey for minimization? I actually don't know that. Because that'd make my life a lot easier. If you could just, like, you know, Windows A or something. Like, there's gotta be. Because I know, like, Alt F5 is close. There we go. I knew something was wrong in that spelling, but I couldn't place it in my brain. You know what? Hold on. Hotkey combo for minimize. Oh. Alt space N. I mean, that works. Yeah, I get how that works. It's an alt. Wind down. Nope. That does kind of work. The problem is it also changes the size. Windows all down. Nope. Well, weird. Kind of cool that those work. You learn something new every day. Let's do more Swashbuckler stuff. Let's go up to proficiencies, precision cheese, professor of cheese, you know, those things. Trained in fortitude, expert in will and reflex. I don't know why I keep popping this out. I really don't need it. Fortitude, expert in the other two. Why do these keep saying custom? Con, and that should be Dex. You don't say custom. Yes, you do. Should probably figure out what light armor to equip. I mean, you do. Actually, you can't do. It's just leather. Leather. Leather of feather. There's also something I need to fix when doing this stuff, because bulk L. Bulk L. Does that work for worn stuff? Probably. No shield. Two-handed weapon. So I did that stuff. I also picked, what was it? Let's do... Battle Dancer style. Type feature. First. Fascinating performance skill feat. Fascinating performance. Fascinating. Oh, yeah, I didn't do the S. Alright, that's the one I went with. Specific performance, yes. Precise strike. Stylish combatant. Some storms opposed to skill checks with the bravado trait while you are in a combat encounter. When you have panache, you get +5 to your speed. This is a Minotaur's speed. Where's Minotaur? Speed 25, so normal. Oh, and hit points was 10. Ten. Dinky boy. Actually, what are the base abilities Minotaurs get? Language, dark vision. So they do get dark vision. Oh, and horns. Horns. I am trained. I don't think I get more training than trained. Let's see. Skill, stylish tricks. Vivacious speed. Feet, weapon expertise. Weapons, martials, and arm checks. Expert. I found a lot. So I think one of the changes they're making and why they're gonna probably redo all the classes, because you basically get training in unarmed a lot more often. Like, I think I've shown it before, but this, which was made off of 2E1 versus 2.5. You have very few people who get higher than trained and unarmed. Monks, no, fighter, like, yeah, monks don't even get legendary and unarmed. They do now. I think they get legendary and unarmed and master and simple. I'm not certain about that though. But yeah, now, like, alchemists I think would get expert. Bards would get expert. So basically, whatever you get, clerics would get expert, etc. Rangers would get master. So that way, if you get a class or a race ability that gives you something, like a weapon, you actually can use it now. Whoops. Don't need that. Open. That's what I was doing. I was buying that, by the way, so I can get this. So horns are strength. Trained, although category armed group brawling damage 110 no 1 d8 plus strength. Yeah. Where's traits? There it is. Okay, let's go back to the class stuff. I'll get to the finisher later. Yeah, panache is weird. Panache. Which does remind me that fascinating performance. It's the bravado trait. Style. Okay. Let's do confident finisher. Confident finisher. half your precise damage strike to the target. Damage type is that of the weapon or your unarmed attack you use for the strike. Okay. And I do this. Oh, I see. There we go. Basically, I was just showing this, and if I do it again, confident finisher feature. Just a note that the action is different from the feature. Kind of want to now play this swashbuckling minotaur. I like the idea of it. I'm actually curious. Opportune riposte. Oh. So what happens if I do this? It's possible that I would need something else to do this. Fortune riposte. Trigger. Paste the description, then I'll paste the trigger. Shit. Oh, time for blur again. I keep forgetting to turn that off. It's honestly going to be really bad. Seriously, it's really annoying that I keep doing that. Can I, like, disable it on this site or something? Because you've got Roll20.net, and then there's app.roll20.net. Give me 1 second. I'm curious about this. It's, oh wait, site settings. Well, there might be a way to fix this later. For now, there's nothing I can do about it. At least I know how to fix it. It's just annoying that... So basically just need to disable it. There's gotta be a way for that. How to disable... Honestly, I'm not sure what I really should do. The problem is, though, I'd want to enable it... Well, honestly, what I really should do is this. Oh, there we go. And then do this. And then do this. Hooray! Now I'm doing it in incognito mode, so I shouldn't have an issue. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to... Go away. Try and do tutorials every time. Honestly, this is probably a good idea. Get in the habit of doing. It's the second one. I have 2 open incognito windows, and I have no idea what the second one would possibly be. Whatever. This does remove cookies and stuff, though, but... So I'm just gonna have to get used to doing this. Why is the zoom weird? What's the zoom? There we go. I'm just gonna close that window. Also means I should do that. There we go. So I'm just going to need to remember to... Honestly, it'll also remind me that now that this is set up to only look at incognito mode 1, it should be fine. So I'll remember to open it. I think I got everything for the ancestry. I mean, besides languages, which I'm not worrying about right now. Problem is, I get angry at myself after realizing I forgot to do that. And then I, like, seethe for a few seconds where I'm kind of quiet. That's what's going on, by the way, when I just go quiet because I'm just seething to myself for being stupid. Yeah, this now. I gotta mind you seeing my email address, especially now that I switched it to the right one. The other one is a thing, but... I mean, if you want to contact me, that's my email. That is my business email for a reason. At least my streaming business email. I have a different business email that's for work. Oh. At 3rd level, 7th level, and 15th level, you gain an additional skill increase you can only apply to acrobatics or the skill from your Swashbuckler style. You also gain an additional skill feat at these levels. It must be for acrobatics or trained from the Swashbuckler style. Neat. Wait, what? Oh, it's a trait. Actually, with the class. Stylish tricks. So let's do this one. Technically, all the features should have. So 3rd and 7th and 15th get an extra skill feat. Is there like a feats list? Actually, even if there is, I probably don't want to use it. Through there. Oh gosh. Increase the status bonus to your speed from stylish combatant to a plus 10-foot status bonus. The bonus increases by 5 feet. When you don't have the panache, you still gain half the status bonus to your speed, rounded down to the nearest 5-foot increment. Vivacious speed. I guess if you don't have a class or a spells, you get a lot of extra stuff. Speeds plus 10. And how do you spell panache? Panache. Cool. So now I need to do, did I do the skill increases yet? No. If I really want to, I can do acrobatics to expert, performance to expert, and then I get one more because I got the 2 from 3rd and 5th. I might as well do stealth. I love the idea of the stealthy minotaur. It's just hilarious to me. Cool. Yeah, 7th level would be the next, so speed increase. Oh. Whoops. Honestly, the whole shove out of the way thing could actually be good instead of the cantrip. I'm honestly thinking of switching out for that. basically just means I need to put something into... In fact, I don't need intelligence. Well, I do if I want to keep the number of skills I have. I can remove one skill. I think this will be better. And then what I can do... I don't need occultism. And I need one more to switch, right? The idea is I want athletics. Yeah, who needs deception? Honest Minotaur. And then we'll get rid of Pantheon magic for the shove thing. It's called what? Friendly nudge. Not nudge, nudge. That could also work for placement, which is nice. So skill feats, which I should have 3. And one should be in athletics or acrobatics or performance. Sorry, acrobatics or performance. Blah. Oh wait. Fortitude expertise is 3rd. I missed that one. Well, let me fix that real fast. Go. And... feats. Use acrobatics to perform. I need to look at that one, actually. That would be worthwhile. You can roll acrobatics check instead of performance check when using the perform action. If you're trained in both acrobatics and performance, you gain plus some circumstance on acrobatics checks perform. It's only when using the perform action, though. I want to see what that enchanting performance one does. I should look at the sheet, but me. Alright, it's called enchanting performance. Fascinating performance. Well, I was close enough in letters to where I found it. When you perform, you compare the results. These will be see of 1 observer. If you succeed, the target is fascinated by you for 1 round. If the observer is in a situation that demands immediate attention, such as combat, you must critically succeed to fascinate it, and the perform action gains incapacitation trait. You must choose which creature you're trying to fascinate before you roll your check, and the target is temporarily immune for 1 hour. If you're an expert in performance, you can fascinate up to 4 observers. If you're a master, you can fascinate up to 10 observers. If you're legendary. So, the other one I know wouldn't make this better. So it's not really worth picking up, because I'm pretty sure it says you can roll back to perform when using perform action. Yeah, but I don't think it counts. It doesn't let you, pick up prerequisites. There's another skill that allowed you to substitute, and it specified that you cannot use this to pick up other, you basically can't use acrobatics as a prerequisite for other feats and abilities, or the increased 2 abilities. So I still need both. So it's not really worth it, unless I could just get performance to master, and then get acrobatics to legendary, and then I burn a feat on it. It's not worth it. I'd rather get both to master, and then maybe another thing, or maybe performance or acrobatics to legendary. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm not making these characters for a ton. I actually might copy these characters and then level them up to 10, 15, and then 20 to test higher level combat. If we master in acrobatics, that doesn't matter. Tumbling teamwork. An ally can step as a reaction when you tumble through. That's good. Tumble through. Which I was probably an acrobatics up here. Tumble through. You stride up to your speed. During this movement, you can try to move through the space of one enemy. Attempt an acrobatics check against the enemy's reflex. As soon as you try to enter its space, you can tumble through using climb, fly, swim, or another action instead of your stride in the appropriate environment. You must move through the enemy's space, treating the square in its space as difficult terrain. If you don't have enough speed to move all the way through its space, you get the same effect as a failure. It ends and you trigger reactions as if you had moved out of the square they're standing in. What's it called? Tumble teamwork. Tumbling distracts the foe enough to create an advantage for one of your allies. When you successfully tumble through an enemy space, an ally who's adjacent to the enemy can step as a reaction, but they must remain adjacent to that enemy. Water spring. Athletics experience training have taught you that water is just enough surface tension to master. Oh, you have to be master. I do want to look at the bravado stuff. When you perform an action with a particular style, you can leverage this movement of verve to perform spectacular daily maneuvers. You gain panache by performing actions on the bravado trait. Tumble through, and additional actions by your Swashbuckler's style. Gain the bravado trait when you use them. The GM might determine that a check to perform a particularly daring action. Yeah. Yep. So what happens if I look up perform? Perform action. Act. Craft. Actually, let me just come over to here and click perform. Section mostly useful when you want to provide to impress someone quickly. Performing rarely has an impact of its own, but it might influence the DC's diplomacy checks against an observer, or even change their attitudes if GM sees fit. Doesn't seem that they have a spot for actions. Meaning I'd have to add it. I mean, in theory... Oh, this actually has a maximum size. Actually, yeah, no, it didn't. So let's... Oh, wait, traits. Concentrate. I think it was incapacitation. Incapacitation? Bravado. I also need to look at what else it does. Yeah. So it's stunned for one, fascinated for one round. Target is also fascinated for one round. If out of combat, you only need a success to fascinate. You. Okay. Your capability. More impressive quickly. Is capability... Yeah, I think it was. Only way to find out? Yeah, it was. It's just close enough to where I thought maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Where did I get steady balance from? Why do I have steady balance? I should go through and look for specialty things like this. Like panache, to add that to my list of conditions. Because I have a my list of markers. Because I have a list I'm making for markers. That I will eventually finish. Oh, stealth, performance. I should have one more, which I did as acrobatics. I'm trying to think maybe I should do athletics. Okay, let me figure out more feats. Skill feats. Actually, quick squeeze. 100%. That'll be my bonus one. As a Minotaur, that is a very useful ability. Let me look at the exact nature of it. Quick squeeze. You squeeze 5 feet per round. Oh, right. Squeeze is probably a skill thing. Squeeze. Pinch yourself to squeeze through a space so small you can barely fit through. The action is for exceptionally small spaces. Many tight spaces are difficult terrain that you can move through quickly without a check. You squeeze tight space in 1 minute per 10 feet of squeezing. You come stuck in tight space. Several actions, the attack trait, meaning that using them more than once in the same turn makes them less accurate. Since these actions use your free hand, you use the traits for your fist attack to determine the multiple attack penalty. So your fist's agile trait applies, therefore take a -4. Okay, interesting. Still think that's a good idea for a Minotaur. Because I think squeezing, I read somewhere that squeezing is, oh wait, it's an exploration. Well, yeah. But that Minotaurs, it counts as squeezing if it's 2 spaces smaller. For example, a large creature in a small, moving through a small space. Or a medium creature moving through a tiny space, etc. 1 lower is just difficult terrain, 2 lower is squeezing. So it allows me to... Okay, yeah, so basically 1 round. Yeah, so you can make a squeeze attempt. Squeeze 5 feet in a round. Still useful, I think. Honestly, I still think that's very useful. There's a lot of uses for that. Okay, hefty hauler. Honestly, kind of nice. Let's go performance. Fascinating, impressive. Virtuosic performance. I need to read this one. You have exceptional talent with one type of performance. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus when making a certain type of performance. If you are a master in performance, the bonus goes to +2. Select one of the following specialties that apply the bonus and attempt a performance check of that type. If it's unclear whether the specialty applies, the GM decides. Acting, comedy, dance, world factory, percussion, singing, strings, winds. I'd probably do dance if I did this one. Actually, that is good, because I get a +1 from Panache. Although it's circumstance. Is the other one also circumstance? Yeah, it is also circumstance, so I wouldn't stack. Never mind. It would only matter if I got to master and got a +2. So not worth it. And there might be something that gets me more anyway. I already got the one I needed, though. Those are athletics. Don't I already have steady balance? I already had that. Yeah, I do. A quick squeeze or like nimble crawl would probably be the only other one, so let's go for some other stuff. Toughness is good. Let me look at weapon proficiency. Trained in all martial weapons. If you're already trained in all martial weapons, you can be trained in one advanced weapon of your choice. If you're at least 11th level, you also become an expert in these weapons. No. Okay, so yeah, it's just uncommon is not. Just wanted to make sure that wasn't a thing. Let's look at athletics feats. Let me look at the shove action. So I'm curious what it says about larger creatures. Athletics. Can't be more than one size larger than you. Man, that means... Okay, let me look at that shove skill. Titan Wrestler. You can attempt to disarm, grapple, or post shove, or trip creatures up to 2 sizes larger than you, or up to 3 sizes larger if you're a legendary. That would mean a large creature can do huge and gargantuan. What's the sizes? There's abilities. Where's the... creature traits. Size. Gargantuan, huge, large. That would basically allow me to... I mean, at my current level, shove gargantuan creatures. Because I can already shove huge. Which is interesting. Like, I don't even need to be legendary to get that. Yeah, that's actually worth it, because that means I don't need to invest to shove more. Still thinking toughness is a good one for my general feat. I can just look at skill feats as general feats, because most of them, well, most of them. I think there are some that are just skill. Probably. I swear I saw at least one that was that way. Or not. Whatever. Actually, I might do Feather Step as my general feat. Yeah, that might be worth it. Okay, added that. One more feat. I mean, if this were an actual character, I'd probably pick something like, you know, Bargain Hunter or Group Impression or, honestly, the performance one, which is impressive performance. Yeah, let's do impressive performance. I might as well. I think the character is basically done. I mean, obviously there's a few more items I could probably do, but no spells. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a quick break so I can go to the bathroom and do some other stuff. And I'll be back. Okay, come on, load, so I can set the timer. Yep. Okay, I'll be back. Seriously, 5-minute timer. How was that muted? I definitely hit the mute button. Oh well. I mean, I thought you heard much, but anyway, not a big deal. What to do now? So there are things like the actions where it's like, there are a lot of actions. I wish this was a little bit better, because the idea of just putting every action in here is kind of a pain. You know, like, that's... And making a giant list of that would not be fun. Honestly, I'd prefer it if the strikes were over here, and actions were over here where they're a little bit wider. Maybe you could do 2, 1 and 1. Here are all the conditions. Oh. Oh. Might be worth having as a condition, because it basically is one. But I doubt it can do anything. If I wanted to do damage, it could obviously do like 1d6 fire. And that should pop up as... Oh. Oh, display value, probably? Oh, I see. It's kind of pointless. Probably turn this on. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't actually roll. So if I wanted to do something, it doesn't actually show that part. Like, if I wanted to do something, I'd have to put it here. Oh, I see, those just add itself. You guys even saw that. It's kind of neat that if you do that, it does a thing. That's helpful. Oh, I see. So, well, no, that's the description still. But yeah, there's no value for that. It's either on or off, although maybe I should add a value for either on or off. Well, there's definitely one thing I can do right now. You know, probably go for about another hour and stop. But for now, Where is you? Tokens. Here are tokens. There we are. You can make tokens for them. Oh, those are colors. Oh yeah, the points. If I want to have points. Points are for facing. It's basically say X is facing this way. That's why I have them as an option. As for symbols. A lot. I made a few telepathy ones just because I wasn't certain which one I liked. Those ones kind of interesting. Yeah, because I have some that are two-colored. Those are points. 20 points. So. Could we go based off their race, like Minotaur one? Oh. Cow. It's actually not bad. It's a Farside cow. Alien cow. Dragon. Different kind of dragon. Let me look at a cow real fast. Cow. Images. Oh yeah, the ears. Let me make sure you look up Minotaur too. Hi, clearly AI art. Okay, hold on, I gotta show you this. What the frick is this? Oh, also let me... There it is. Look at just this third leg. What is with this? This is ridiculous. Stupid AI art. Okay. I'm gonna continue looking in the background though. I can tell what's AI art for the most part because it includes this like labyrinth background. Like, not all of them are bad, honestly. I think Minotaurs have a consistent enough shape to where they turn out okay. But it's like, this is AI. I mean, this one maybe not, but yeah. So looks like I wanted to do something like this. I would need to, like the curved horn. I'd actually probably want it more like this. Oh, I thought that looked weird. Immediate far side cow. Angry cow. I feel like I need something here. That's actually not bad. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that. Just looks like hair. I like it flat. That's pretty good. What if I raise the eyes up? Maybe that's the issue. Better. It doesn't look quite as angry as it did before. There we go. Why does that look better suddenly? Why do I feel like that looks better? Yeah. Making them a bit thinner does make them more cow-like, doesn't it? That looks like a dog now. Honestly, I kind of liked this better. Why does that look so good when I have like a single bump? Nope, I'll roll with it though. I think that looks a little better. Yeah. that good. I think it looks Minotaurish. Like, if someone told me that's a Minotaur, I wouldn't say no. That's better. There we go. Oh, that did it. I think I know what that is. It's that kind of curved back before forward thing that they have, which makes it look like that. Yep. Okay. That's what I needed. Now for Druid. I have something that could work already. All these exports later. That's more of a wizard. Snake-ish versus wormish. I love the difference between these. And crab. Gear, which I feel like could be better, but I was never able to get that looking good. Claws. Or a wild druid, maybe. There's a group that are humans that basically like have like really prominent scent abilities, and they can like identify people by scent. So the idea of them having like stink lines. This is for my custom traveler world. Paw print could actually work, but I usually use this for a druid, but I usually use this for... Actually, let's do a leaf. Leaf could work. Why is it that my brain works so much better when I'm doing stuff in like black and white? Like, it's so weird. I can't actually quite explain it. Like, I've been trying to do art stuff with like color, but it never looks good. I don't know why I can't get it to look good. I'm just not great with colors. Like, go black and white and suddenly it starts to look like stuff to me. Funny enough, that change makes it go from leaf to feather. Which aren't that different. Yeah, I'd call that a leaf. It's funny, if I did it to the edge, I feel like it would be a feather, but not to the edge is a leaf. Yeah, okay. Got a druid one. I think that one could be a little better. Whoops. Yeah. There we go. It's a little better. Perfect. I just had to round it out a bit more, and it worked out. Okay. So we got Druid. Sorcerer. Kobold. It's not the best dragon that I could do, but it's not a bad one. I'm gonna try and do the weird little squat kobolds Pathfinder has. I do love them. They have those giant mouths. I'm trying to replicate, but it's not going well. Oh, okay, wait, I like this. That's a good kobold. Oh, it's not centered. I like that. That's a good kobold face. Okay. And now we need the champion. How much deity did I pick? Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, and it was a Colo. It was Lamesh 2. I love that. I love how squat, and I love this squat little friend. Such squat little. It's like, I'm angry, but I'm too small to do something about it vibes, and I love it. I'm not sure I could do Null very well. Could with the champion symbol. Shield, hammer, and a scroll. Yeah, I guess they are kind of defenders. Do I have a shield? Actually, I think I might have a shield. Yeah, I do. Let's just use that. Okay, so let's figure out colors. What kind of kobold did I make? I mean, well, I did the spell kobold, but what was the... Is it Draconic? Kind of Fortune. So I consider Fortune a yellow. Do I have a yellow? I have gold. Try making this a little longer. Let's see if longer works. But I like how squat it is. Honestly, that's kind of fine. Yeah, I like this. Okay. File, export. This is my pattern for export names. Okay, do a dash. Global dash gold. We'll do leaf green because obviously make that green. I'll save as export. Leaf gold green. So technically mix the two. The round nose is more pig. The square nose is very cow, isn't it? Or that kind of like weird shape. That just looks weird. It's something. It's weird that I like that. Ooh. Maybe? I started. Honestly, I kind of like that best. Sometimes you can fiddle with it for hours and it never gets better. Oh, I keep hitting save as. Yeah, I might be ending a little bit early just because I want to set up some other things. I was going to do a shield, right? A shield. I really should alphabetize these. Wondering where these names are coming from. It's because of I think those are names I got off the internet. Let's do goldenrod. Whoa. Oh, okay. That's close to the gold of the other one, but oh well. Save it, close it. You know, I think I'm gonna call it for the day. Just kind of fading a little bit, and I have discussing tabletop later today. So, thank you all very much for watching. If you liked, you can follow. If you really liked, you can subscribe. If you need, if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what creatures I should put up against my characters in the mock fights, maybe. But if you need more convincing that I am interesting, you can catch me on the Draconian Empires channel later today. Or you can catch one of my other videos, which should be here. There we go. So until later, bye-bye.